Hello everyone. How's everyone doing? I just want to say thank you to everyone who subscribed to my channel. Thank you for all the likes. Thank you to those who left a comment. I'll find time to respond maybe after this video. And I just want to I'm begging, please, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so, okay? I really appreciate it. I'm like begging you. I really need the subscription. It might help me grow this channel. So please, if you have not subscribed, please go ahead and do so. In the video that I'm doing today, I'm gonna be talking about my first miscarriage, what happened and how it happened and all that stuff. So it might be triggering for some people, and if you think it's gonna be too much for you, you don't have to watch it, okay? I'm sorry. If you think you can handle it, then you'll watch it, but if you think it's triggering for you, don't watch, okay? I'm sorry. So let's start. So 2016, I had Melrose. Her pregnancy was okay. It was easy considering everything I've had to go through after her pregnancies was one of my easiest pregnancies, and we did not have any issues with her. The only issue I had, I think, was in my first trimester, like morning sickness and all that stuff. But other than that, we were fine. We did not have any issues, nothing whatsoever. She was okay. She was born at 37 weeks, 4 days. Like I said, no issues with her. A few months later, we found out again that I was pregnant, and we were shocked, we're excited, we're like anxious to be. It's not like we're not expecting it, but when you do something, you might think what the outcome's gonna be. So yeah, so I think she was like 5 or 6 months when I got pregnant again. So it was kind of hard on me, because then I'm looking at my child, I'm like, oh God, my baby, I'm about to have another baby, what am I gonna do? So we were shocked in the beginning, but then we kind of decided like, okay, this is what's gonna happen. We just know in the next 2 years we're gonna have 2 kids under 2, and we're gonna deal with it. And funnily, the baby, because Melrose was due March 7. Her original due date was March 7, but she was born February 19. She was born 3 weeks before her due date. And then the baby's due date was March 4th. March 4th. So they're due, both of them due dates was like a year apart. So I was like, here I am. I'm gonna have a 1-year-old and a brand new baby. So we're like scared and excited at the same time. So so after that I changed my job when I had Melrose. I quit the job that I had and I found a new job. So I was at the job one day, and mind you, at this time I did not tell anyone that I was pregnant at my job. Because I already told them when I started I had a baby, and my baby was like 3 months old. So everyone knew I had a baby. So I was not gonna come back 2 or 3 months later to tell these people that I was pregnant. So I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna keep this to myself. When the bump starts showing, then they'll know. So that was what I was gonna do. I was gonna stick to the plan. So then one day, one of my coworkers, she was sitting down and I'm standing at the desk with her. So she was like telling me, Kayla, are you okay? I said, yeah. I said, what's wrong? She said, hold on. Melrose is Judge was awake. Hold on. Okay, so so where was I? Okay, so Miss Betty. So yeah, then she's like, God, you need to go do a pregnancy test. She was looking at my neck and my throat. She's like, Kayla, you're pregnant. I was like, no, I'm not. I kind of played it out with her. She's like, girl, when you go home, you need to go to a pregnancy test. So So I was like, okay. So then I later confessed to her that, yeah, I was pregnant, I'm pregnant and all that stuff. She's like, yeah, you know how old I am, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, okay. So then she knew, but I don't remember telling her not to tell anyone. I don't remember that. Yeah, so one day I was at work and I started bleeding. So when I started bleeding, I went to the charge nurse and I went to the ER. And I work in a hospital setting where I can just go downstairs and there was an ER down there. And the same hospital that I work at is where my OB is at also. So she works with them. So it was easier for me. So I went down to the ER and they checked me out, did the pregnancy test, did everything. Okay, you're pregnant, told me how far along I was, and said I'm bleeding. And they did a scan and showed that yes, there's some bleeding going on, but the baby was okay. They're like, we'll put you on bed rest for the next couple of days, but just follow up with your OB. So I was like, okay, so I did that. So and then they're like, the other thing they said was, well, you might or you might not lose the baby, you might or you might not have a miscarriage. We cannot tell, but just be careful because it was a threatened miscarriage. So I was like, okay. So I went home, was on bed rest for a couple of days, followed up with my OB. And then what she did was put me on weekly scans, so every 2 week scans, where I'll come into her office and they'll do the ultrasound to see how the bleeding was and how the baby was doing and all that. So we did the scans from 10 weeks to 16 weeks and everything was okay. And by the time we got to the 16th week, the bleeding had disappeared, everything was looking good. So she was like, okay, well, I'll see you again in a month. And I was like, okay. So the next time I was supposed to see her was the 20th week, which was my 5 months ultrasound, my 20 weeks ultrasound. So which never happened. So 2 weeks after I left her office, after the 16 weeks appointment, I woke up one morning because I work the day shift. So I woke up to go to work and I had slept all night. I didn't have no issues, and I woke up to go to the bathroom. I slept all night and then I woke up in the morning, went to the bathroom, and I had peed. And right after I peed, I felt like something was coming out of me, and I'm a woman. I knew exactly what that was. I felt the pressure and I knew what was going on. So I called my husband and he's freaking out. So we called 911 because I kind of knew what was going on, but I just did not want to like accept it. So we called 911, called a few family friends, and they came in. At this point, because at one time when it just happened, the baby was like stuck down there. So like 5 minutes later, instead of went from being stuck to out, like all the way out. Now it's like, I don't know how to describe it. I'm trying not to make it so graphic, but at one moment it was stuck in my vagina, and then the next minute after that, like a few minutes later, it's kind of submerged, like came all the way out and was hanging. So it was hanging like that because of the umbilical cord was still attached to it. So I had to sit there and wait until the emergency medical personnel came. So when they came in, saw what was going on, could not transport me in that situation to the hospital because obviously we all knew what had happened. It's not like they were gonna take the baby and push it back in there. So they what they did was clamped. It's like just like how you have a baby and they have to cut the umbilical cord. They cut it They took the baby, put the baby in the stretcher and in the van, and transported me with the baby. At this point, they already cut it. So they had a baby and they had me. So we went to the hospital. So we went to the ER, and the doctor came to see me, some nurses, and you know how they started asking me what happened, and if I knew what happened to me, if I like kind of see if I was conscious, and I knew what was going on. I was like, yeah. So then they said, since it was the weekend, because it happened October 1st, it was the weekend, October 1st, 2016. So they were like, your doctor is not working this weekend, but she has someone on call. So the on-call doctor is gonna come to see you. So the on-call doctor later on came in that afternoon and told me, explained to me what happened and what they think happened. And he was like, well, this is what happened. The next time, or when next you want to have another baby, you might, or you're going to be high risk, your pregnancies will from henceforth will be high risk. So I was like, no. I was like, not me. That is not my passion. I am a child of God. I don't believe that. I'm like, no. So he was like, I'm just saying. And he was a high risk doctor actually at the hospital that I worked at. And I've seen him, I've seen his work, I know the stuff he does. So I was just thinking like, no, my situation is not like those people that he deals with. So I was like, not like I was judging him, but I was just saying, because in my head, I just had a successful pregnancy with Melrose, no issues. So I was like, because he was like one of the best actually. So I was like, no, like his level was too much for me, basically. I was like, no, I refuse. I was like, this is the devil. I refuse it. This is not gonna, no, this is not me. So what we decided to do after that, we were just like, we were just gonna take our time, since we had a baby. At this point, Mel was like 10 months, 8 months, I think 10, either 9 or 10 months old. Yeah, then, so we were like, we're just gonna concentrate on her. Not take time off, but we're gonna put baby making on hold. So we did that. We did that. So we kind of put that on hold and tried to raise her and all that. And I remember that day, nurses. I don't want to say it because it's like, because I'm in the field. When I tell you I have a respect for nurses, I do, because a lot of the stuff you see is like, you see other people, you're not in their shoes, so you know you're doing this job, you're helping, but then when it's you, when it turns around and you're the patient, it's a whole different level. So since the ER where I was taken to was the hospital that I worked, like most of my co-workers came downstairs. They were like so sweet. I had like the best care in the ER until I went home the next day. So they came downstairs, saw me, saw the baby, and at this point, like, it's not like I did not want to see the baby, but then I was in so much anger. They came, they're like looking at the baby, and all they could say, the baby looks just like your other child. This baby looks just like it was a boy. And they were like, this baby looks just like Melrose. This baby looks just like Melrose. And I was like, okay. So at one time I took a peep, and it's so funny and it's so surreal when, like, I never knew when stuff like that happens. You know how you have like a normal delivery, the crib is right there. They treated that baby like that baby was alive. They put the baby in the crib, like, until the doctors came, saw the baby before they took the baby away. the doctors came, saw the baby before they took the baby away. And I don't know how people do it. People that have stillbirth, people that have miscarriages, multiple miscarriages, where the pregnancy is like not like far gone, but where like you can actually see the baby. I don't know how you'll do it. I thank God for grace. I thank God for strength, but I do not wish that on anyone, not even like my worst enemy. I don't wish it on. So yeah, so that was what happened with the first. Yeah, so he, like, the doctor told me, and I was like, no, I didn't. I like after that happened, when I went home, I was like, I did not think twice that this was gonna be me, or this was gonna be my story. So I was like, he's just trying to get a new patient, blah blah blah. Like, no, it's not gonna be me. Excuse me. It's not gonna be me. So yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah. So yeah, that was what happened the first time, and then I'll do a second video as to what happened with the second one. I don't want to make it too boring and too sad. I'll do a continuation of this video, okay? So you'll stay tuned. Please like, subscribe to my channel, okay? I'll see you in the next video. Thank you all. Bye. Jojo needs to take a nap.